What's up, comic book fans, and welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me, and today, we got issue 19 of Miles Morales' Spider-Man, Legacy issue number 301, and the conclusion to what we just saw in the explosive issue number 300. And if you guys didn't get a chance to check out the video for Miles' special 300th issue, then I'll go ahead and leave a card at the top of the screen for you right now to it. And I'll put a link at the end of the video too. But that last issue was amazing, and it had a little bit of everything, it seemed like. We saw Miles use his powers in a brand new way, but so did his new arch enemy, Rabble. And it's almost weird to say that Miles has an arch enemy of his own now. And I mean a real arch enemy, because Rabble has shined as a nemesis for Miles here. And by the time the issue had ended, she had taken control of Miles' enemies and forced them to fight until their hearts stopped and managed to take down Miles' clone and close friend, Shift. And after hearing that Shift has stopped breathing, Miles is ready to risk it all. So if you guys are ready to see the exciting conclusion to this Retribution story arc and find out if Miles is able to save both his friends and his enemies, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So this issue picks up right after issue 300 ended, and Spidey's just been told the Shift's down and he's not breathing. And Miles is still trying to talk Raneem down from what she's doing, but she continues to insist that this has to happen. And the only way this is going to stop is if Miles stops playing nice and sees this through to the end. So finally, Miles is just like, bet. And now the two of them just go back and forth, haymaker after haymaker, with neither of them seeming to gain the advantage. But this fight is taking too long, Miles thinks. How long do the Cape Killers have until Rabble burns them out? And how long does Shift have? Meanwhile, though, Rabble calls in her drones and activates swarm protocols. But Miles has had about enough of those drones, and he shuts them down with his Venom Blast. And now Rabble is next, and what she needs is a super Venom Blast. But just as Miles goes to throw the blow, Rabble asks him if he really thinks that he can use that move on her more than once. And she catches his hand and uses her suit to steal Miles' Venom energy. She's taking his power and now she's supercharged. And then she snaps Miles' elbow. And as he screams out in pain, with every part of his body on fire, he thinks, Rabble tells him that there's no need for screams. Her machines can't comprehend the sound, but she'll try to teach them. Then she picks him up by his face and smashes him through a wall. Straight savage, y'all. And that was a dope line from Rabble. And then she calls herself the Envoy of Death. Meanwhile, back with Spidey's friends versus the Cape Killers, Spidey Squad is having a hard time keeping up with the Cape Killers. Right now, Rabble has their strength off the charts. Scorpion, though, even though he's trying not to hurt anybody, he can't control himself, and he tries warning Starling that his tail is about to fire on her. But he can't stop it, and Starling can't get out of the way in time. And when the blast is fired from Scorpion, Agent Gao, of all people, dives in the line of fire and takes the full blast, saving Starling. But Scorpion warns Starling that another blast might be coming. Then he wonders, where the hell is Spider-Man at? They really need him right now. Then we check back in with Spider-Man. And right now, he's getting his ass handed to him by Rabble, as she just slammed him into a computer station. But Miles thinks to himself that his arm's shot, and now that just felt like a rib gone. His Venom energy is tapped out. So it takes everything in him to set up for this counter move. But he does it, and he gives Rabble a nice little kick to the head as she charges at him. Manji kick, he calls it. He'd love to say Colleen Wing taught him that one. But the real hero here is Genki's Crunchyroll account. But now that Rabble is down from the kick, Miles goes back to his taunting. But this just angers Rabble even more. And now she tells Miles that she took his arm already and his Venom Blast. But now, she's gonna take his eyesight next. And she activates a solar flare. And now Miles is practically fighting blind. He can barely see, and he's just fighting with pure instinct now. He can't see any colors. He can only really make out shapes, and his spider sensing is in overdrive. He also felt another rib go while crashing into the ceiling, which subsequently means that he's up, which also means he now knows which direction is down. So while they're on the ceiling, he webs the ground and he grabs Rabble and essentially spikes her to the ground like a volleyball. He tells Rabble, "You wanted to see this through to the end, right? Well, stand on that." And now Miles is beat up and he's hurting pretty bad, but he's a warrior. And he webs up his arm. And then he calms himself down. He tells himself to think. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. And then he notices a collar. Of course, he thinks. Agent Gal must have given her some to upgrade. Gotta find an end. She's so mad, she can't think. As Rabble shouts that this is their last stand and they're gonna make it count. Miles, meanwhile, thinks that he's only got one shot at this. And just as Rabble charges at him, Miles webs up the collar. He's got it, he thinks. And just as Rabble gets close and tries to tell the machines it's time to finish him, she can no longer hear them. Miles managed to get the power dampening collar around her neck. Why can't I hear the signals? Why can't I hear the machines, she asks. What did you do to me? And Miles tells her, I'm sorry, Renee. I might not be able to help you, but we'll find somebody who can. And now Rabble tries to play the victim role here. Why did you do this? You took away my gift. Why did you do this to me? You took away my gift. Why? And then she just continues to repeat that over and over again. Then Miles gives her a knockout blow. And now he thinks that it feels like he's going to pass out from all the blood loss. But he can't give up yet. He's got to keep moving. The others are still counting on him. Because right now, the Cape Killers are still taking it to Spidey Squad. Even Gust is kicking ass right now with her power-ups. But just then, everything stops and they're free. Looks like Spidey did us good, Rhino says. Then Scorpion says that it feels like he just got hit by the Hulk right now. And he guesses he owes the run another IOU. Meanwhile, Miss Marvel helps Shift to his feet and tells him that he's too tough to be taken out by a little blast to the chest. You take a blast to the chest. And then Shift says that it hurts. And Starling mentions that she can't believe that Shift is even standing. He must heal quick like Spider-Man, which, duh. He is a clone of Spidey. But then Spidey shows up, and he's got Mayor Luke Cage and Misty Knight with him. And when Starling lays eyes on him, she runs and gives him a huge hug. And he tells her that just about everything above his waist is broken, but that hug still feels worth it. Then Miss Marvel tries to tell Shift that the EMTs are here to help him, but he's worried about being taken to a lab, and he doesn't like labs. Then Starling tells Spidey that he really saved their asses today. Then she asks about Rabble, but Spidey tells her that he learned he wasn't going to be able to help her the way he wanted to. But with Misty's and Mayor Cage's help, he's going to make sure she finds someone who can. Shift, meanwhile, though, is still giving everyone a hard time about getting into that ambulance. He refuses to go back to a lab. Lab bad. Lab hurts, he shouts. But Spidey calms him down, and he tells him that he won't let anyone hurt him. But Shift begs Spidey, please, no, go with lab people. Lab people hurt, brother. Me. So Spider-Man acquiesces and tells Shift that they do have a nurse in the family. Then later on, we pick up in the Miles Morales' new apartment in downtown Brooklyn. And as Miles' mom is washing dishes and his pops is playing with his little sister, Miles walks in and he's battered and bruised. And when his parents see them, they absolutely freak out. And his pops tells him that he's going to call an ambulance. But he's fine, Miles tells them. His elbow is shattered, but he heals quick. But there's something else, he says. As the door opens back up, Miles tells them that there's someone he needs to introduce them to. And in walks Shift, Miles' clone. His parents had never met Shift, so I'd imagine that's a complete mind freak. But he introduces Shift to his parents, and he tells them that it's time he finally met his family. And little Billy is super excited, and she runs to Shift's arms. She'd met him before, but Shift mentions that she was much smaller then. And as Miles officially welcomes his brother Shift to the family, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think? I just want to shout out writer Cogley Ziegler, though. I think he killed this. I feel like he really gave Miles a gauntlet to go through for his issue 300, and he's officially giving him a true nemesis with Rabble. So I'm loving what Ziegler is doing here. And it's about time Shift finally gets introduced to the family. It's time to get that dude out of the sewers. But what did you guys think about Rabble? And Miles fighting his own version of a Sinister Six? And let me know what you guys want to see next for Miles. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you could do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking up some of this dope new merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video. Or you can help out by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership, and there'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, you'll gain access to weekly interactive live streams with yours truly, where we can talk about everything going down in these issues, as well as ones that you'd like for me to go over in the future and other comic book news, plus previews of what's to come on the channel. And you guys will get loyalty badges, member shoutouts, and up to 20% off of Comics Icon's merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And now we've got new tiers to the memberships, starting at just 99 cents. Now, how's that for an easy way to help out? Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still be a huge help to the future of this channel by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out.